Fat loss after 40, the one mistake that kills progress before it starts. Hi, Marty here. I work with adults over 40 every week, and I see the same thing happen over and over. Before anyone trains a single session or changes a single meal, they build a plan that would require them to be a completely different person than they currently are. Not a fitter version of themselves, a fundamentally different one, with more time, less stress, better sleep, and motivation that just hasn't arrived yet. That's the mistake. And today I want to show you exactly what it looks like, why it hits harder after 40 than it did when you were younger, and what to do instead. Why this hits harder after 40. At 25, you could absorb a bad plan. Recovery was fast. A rough week didn't accumulate. You could restart Monday with no real cost. After 40, the margin shrinks. Recovery is slower. Stress, work, family, health, sits heavier and interacts directly with your physiology. A plan that ignores your actual life doesn't just fail, it often leaves you more depleted and more convinced your body is broken. I hear this from clients all the time. I just can't stick to anything anymore. Usually, they're not lacking discipline. They're following a plan that was never going to fit. What the mistake looks like. Walk through the 4 common patterns: 5 training days / Sunday meal prep / cutting alcohol / 5:30 a.m. starts. Keep it relatable and non-judgmental. None of these targets are wrong. They can all work for someone in some season of life. The problem is grafting them onto a life that hasn't changed to accommodate them. Willpower doesn't fill the gap. It depletes. And after 40, the baseline depletion is usually already higher. The physiology. 3 things to understand: metabolic rate plus lean mass decline, hormonal shifts, estrogen/testosterone, and cortisol/stress. Here's the key point on cortisol. A plan that piles training stress on top of an already stressed life, without building in real recovery, can actually make fat loss harder. I see this in practice. Clients who are overreaching don't just plateau, they often regress. Trainer's perspective. This is why the first question I ask a new client isn't how many days do you want to train? It's how much genuine recovery does your current life support? That answer shapes everything else. Design for the life you have. The reframe. Start by designing a plan that fits your actual week. Then, as habits stabilize, expand. This is not settling, it's sequencing. The clients who make consistent progress aren't the ones who overhauled everything. They're the ones who changed 1 or 2 things, held them long enough to become automatic, then added the next thing. Compounding works in habits exactly as it works in investments. The minimum effective dose. Cover the 4 elements: modest deficit, 300 to 500 calories, adequate protein, resistance training minimum 2 times per week, sleep and recovery. You'll notice daily cardio isn't here. 6 sessions a week isn't here. Eliminating food groups isn't here. That's not because those things can't help. It's because they're not the minimum, and the minimum is what you build from. Here's the takeaway. Return to the one question. Before you set targets, track anything, or book workouts into a calendar, ask yourself honestly, does this plan fit the life I'm actually living? Or does it require a version of my life that doesn't exist yet? If the answer is the second option, don't abandon the goal. Adjust the plan. Make it smaller. Make it fit. Let it work. Next week, I'll show you what fat loss actually looks like in practice, the tools that work, the structure that holds, and how to build this around real training. Please like and subscribe so as not to miss the next video.